is that our identity is defined and fueled by our culture. And if people don't understand our culture, how can they understand our identity? How can they understand how we think? How can they start to begin to understand the things that we're not saying but thinking about each and every day? My organization has conducted several roundtable discussions throughout America to try to understand this one factor. And one interesting and dynamic roundtable took place the day we discussed about our identity and how it's shaped by our culture, and in particular, our country of origin. And what we found is that many Hispanics would rather be identified not as Hispanic or Latino, but they want to be identified as Ecuadorian or Colombian, Mexican or Cuban, Argentinian, and the like. And there was really some real healthy debate around how our mother country shapes our thinking, defined by our people, customs, cultures, and political dynamics that we've been faced with, and the things that we have grown to be more comfortable with. But we also discussed that for those that are outside of the Hispanic community, that these dynamics create confusion and the perception that Latinos are at odds with each other. Could you understand that? It opened my eyes. That we seem to want to use our mother country's brand as if we're competing with each other in the World Cup, rather than finding ways to celebrate and embrace our unique diversity and differences that exist within our community. You see, it's time for Hispanics to accept that our cultural roots are sources of strength and not barriers to advancement. That these unique sources of strength represent the enabler for our Hispanic leadership to flourish and for our community to advance. I mean, we don't have to debate and negotiate that there indeed are differences within our culture, in particular our food and our music, and perhaps from time to time our Spanish language dialect. However, we cannot ignore that our quest for opportunity, our ability to anticipate the unexpected, our contagious passion, our entrepreneurial spirit and attitude, our spirit of giving, and our ability to want to preserve the legacy of our culture. These are all the same. They are all the same. There are no differences here. I mean, these are the natural cultural characteristics that should serve to unite our voice and strengthen our influence. These are the character traits that define our identity as a vibrant community. But they have yet to be discovered. In fact, if you take a close look at each of these characteristics, they represent the following attitudes and values and strengths that are an embedded part of our Latino identity. And as I share them each with you, I guarantee you that you will be able to identify stories from the moment that you were a young person, that you are starting to understand what your identity was and where your cultural roots came from. And as you start, I highly recommend that you just don't think about them. I want you to write about them. And then I want you to share your stories with others. Because did you know that there's another cultural characteristic that lies deep within us? We are tremendous storytellers. Yet, when people don't feel that others understand their identity, how can you believe that you can be comfortable in sharing your story? We're leaving a lot of talent and opportunity on the table, ladies and gentlemen. So the first one is, we see opportunity in everything. You see, like an immigrant that comes to a new country with nothing but faith, hope, and love, we do not have myopia where opportunities are concerned. We see opportunity everywhere, every day, and we make the most of those that cross our path. Many times they're opportunities that others don't see.